reason for shipping delays. Packages, bills, even medical supplies are being held up. What the post office is doing to try to get things moving.
Employers definitely have a legal obligation to provide a safe workplace.
Can your employer make you get a COVID-19 vaccine? It's a complicated legal issue, and we'll look at both sides. And show us the money. Stimulus checks are coming soon to most Americans. We'll show you how you can figure out how much you'll be getting. And what has happened to the Pittsburgh Steelers, how their third straight loss affects the Browns' playoff prospects. And Made in the Land. Emily Mayfield shows us her favorite last-minute holiday gifts from companies right here in Cleveland. What's new starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Hello again, Northeast Ohio. Thank you so much for choosing What's New on the final Tuesday before Christmas. Romney Smith in again for Betsy Kling. I'm Jay Crawford. Romney, a very good Tuesday evening to you.
Good Tuesday evening to you, too. You know, Jay, I can get used to coming to you live from home. I kind of like this comfortable setup.
The comforts of home.
Well, it is. Well, we begin with, of course, Matt Wentz, who's tracking a winter storm watch and a white Christmas. Hey, Matt.
Well, hi there, Romney. Hi, Jay. Hi, everybody. It has been an active weather pattern over the last week. We've really started to say goodbye to all the active small systems, and now our attention turns towards our Christmas Eve storm, which has been well advertised. Latest model runs and guidance from this, increasing our snow amounts across the area. So some of this has changed over the last 24 hours. So let's take you through it. Doesn't look like much right now, but this system slammed into the Pacific Northwest last night, bringing flooding rains, lots of wind with it as well. And you could see the amount of watches and warnings. It's a high wind producer. They've got blizzard warnings across the Dakotas and areas of Minnesota, and not quite anything for us yet. You've probably got an alert on your phone or checked your WKYC app and saw that there is a winter storm watch out for the snow belt. That's for lake effect. That's not for the storm system. So here's how it comes together over the next 24 hours. Tomorrow we're going to start dry. The wind is going to pick up, and we're going to be on the warm side of this. We're likely going to be near 50 degrees by afternoon. Rain will arrive late in the day tomorrow, but as cold air builds into this system as we go on through Christmas Eve day, we're expecting rain to change to snow, and the change in the forecast is there's a potential other area of low pressure that develops along this that would enhance our snow Christmas Eve and keep it going through Christmas Day. Some of the accumulations could be on the higher sides. We've also got wind and falling temps. We'll detail all that coming up in the full forecast.
All right, very good, Matt. Thank you very much. Looks like a white Christmas after all. Well, Romney, next at 5, we begin with package purgatory. So many of us are spending more time tracking packages only to see day to day those packages haven't moved. But tonight we're learning help is on the way at Cleveland's USPS Distribution Center. Brandon Simmons is live tonight from Solon. Brandon, what's going on?
Hey, Jay, that's right. This has obviously been a shipping season for the record books. We've talked about how many people have gone to online shopping to fill their holiday needs during this pandemic. People spending over $11 billion online, and obviously that's led to delays. Now, remember that line of trucks we talked about in Cleveland's post office, outside of Cleveland's post office over the last few weeks. Today, we checked back downtown and found there were only a few trucks outside waiting. In fact, at one point, just one. But inside, there's still problems. There's still a backlog of mail to be delivered. And it's not just those holiday packages. It's also medical supplies and other important items that people are waiting on. Lakeisha McMillan's son, Jalen, is a type 1 diabetic, and his medical supplies are more than a week and a half late.
His package was sent 2-day express, and it was paid for by the supply company from Columbus on the 11th. And it arrived in Cleveland on the 13th. And it's been there since the 13th, and today is now the 22nd. I might have to have him hospitalized because he's not getting the proper medication that he needs.
Now, I reached out to the post office to find out why that package specifically has been delayed for so long. They could only recommend calling a consumer affairs line for help. Now, that's a line that McMillan has called before. She waited online for over an hour to hear from someone, only to be sent to a voicemail. Now, in the meantime, the Cleveland Post Office says they are using every piece of equipment they have to get packages back on track. They even onboarded 70 new employees just yesterday. On top of that, out in Twinsburg, where there are other shipping facilities such as FedEx and Amazon, they opened their own distribution center there to help relieve some of the strain that they were seeing at that downtown location. Now, hopefully, Jay, all of these things combined means that there's a fix on the way and we'll start seeing some of those packages soon. But of course, we'll just have to sort of wait and see over the next week or so.
Well, Brandon, it makes the packages that are arriving late seem like a minor inconvenience when you're talking about medical supplies, some that are needed for life-saving issues. So hopefully these packages get their destination soon. Brandon Simmons live tonight from Solon. Brandon, thanks. We appreciate it. Well, first up on your feed at 5, our daily coronavirus number update. Our new cases, while up more than 1,000 from yesterday, is still more than 2,000 cases below our 21-day average. That certainly is good news. Our other data points, daily positivity rate just at 14% now. That's 0.2 above our 7-day average. Hospitalizations remain below 5,000 for the 5th straight day. But sadly, 130 more Ohioans lost their lives to COVID-19. This is the first time in 5 days that deaths have exceeded our 21-day average. Romney?
Jay, you know, a lot of people are wondering if employers will be able to require employees to get the COVID-19 vaccine once it becomes widely available. The short answer is yes, they can require it. And of course, there are 2 major exceptions that include a religious reason or if you have a disability. Earlier today, I actually asked a labor and employment lawyer if working from home is a way around it. The answer is yes and no.
So if one of those exceptions applies, then an employer would be obligated to make a reasonable accommodation, if possible. So that could be working remote from home. But if you're non-union and you don't fall into one of those narrow exceptions, then you're subject to whatever rules your employer imposes.
Of course, there are lots of nuances between union and non-union employees. Ultimately, she says employers are legally required to provide a safe workplace, and that's why many will ask their employees to get the vaccine. Now, we talked more about exceptions and accommodation. Goldstein says don't be surprised if your job asks you to get a COVID vaccine, and she also won't be surprised if there are lots of lawsuits next year as well that pop up all across the country over that request.
All right, Romney, thanks. Well, after starting the 2020 season a perfect 11-0, the Pittsburgh Steelers have now lost 3 straight games, and I have to say I didn't even recognize the team that lost to the Cincinnati Bengals last night. But it is all good for our Cleveland Browns, who now actually have a shot to win the AFC North. Nick Camino is in for Jimmy tonight, and he joins us. Nick, Ben Roethlisberger looked completely lost last night. I didn't even recognize him.
Yeah, that was totally wild. I was thinking about this, Jay. How cool is this that we not only get to talk about a 10-4 Browns football team, but we can crunch multiple playoff scenarios for the Browns right now because of what happened last night on Monday Night Football. You know, the Steelers went into that game in Cincinnati against the Bengals. They were a 2-touchdown favorite, and they end up losing the game, and that has opened things wide open for the Browns. I mean, this is incredible. The Steelers, who, as you mentioned, were 11-0, now 11-3. This puts the Browns in play to still win the division. So let's break this down for you. You can see all these scenarios at WKYC.com. If the Browns beat the Jets and the Steelers beat the Colts this weekend, the Browns do clinch a playoff spot. But how about this? And you can see the graphic here on the screen. If the Browns beat the Jets and the Steelers lose to the Colts this weekend, that would set up a Week 17 showdown between the Browns and the Steelers to decide the division champion. So the Browns can still win the AFC North division. There is a scenario, though, that's out there, Jay, and I know you've seen it. This would actually get pretty scary for a Week 17, where it could be a do-or-die situation for the Browns, where they would have to win to, yes, get in and win the division, but if they were to lose, they would be on the outside looking into the playoff picture. So it's pretty crazy. So a lot of people have asked me, Nick, just tell me what we need this weekend. I would say, obviously, you need the Browns to beat the Jets. I think that you want the Colts to, I think you want the Steelers to beat the Colts so you make sure that you just are in the playoffs. I know we want to see the Steelers lose, and it would be great to win the division, Jay. But you want to make sure you're in the playoffs, right? I mean, you really want to make sure that you clinch the playoff spot.
You do, but at the same time, the scenario of that last game essentially being a playoff game makes it a whole lot sexier. And the other thing, too, is just a couple of weeks ago, Nick, no one could have envisioned that the Browns would have been in a position to possibly win the division. The Steelers started 11-0. They were the talk of the NFL. I don't know what's happened to them, but honestly, the last 3 weeks, they've looked worse each time out. It's incredible, and it's going to make for an incredible end of the 2020 season. Nick, thanks. We'll see you in sports at 6. What a wild ride. Next on What's New, if you want to shop locally for the holidays, Emily Mayfield is along next with her top last-minute and all-local gift ideas.
Plus, all the juicy details from last night's Bachelorette finale right ahead in your Pop Break.
Welcome back to What's New. If you're still not finished with your Christmas shopping, you're running out of options fast. I'm sure you already know that, especially if you want to get these items shipped in time for Christmas Day. But shopping local eliminates that concern. Before she went on vacation, Betsy and I sat down with Emily Mayfield, who showed us some of the best gift options you can find right here in Northeast Ohio.
A lot of people are scrambling for those last-minute gifts, so we decided to bring a good friend in to help us out with some very cool local last-minute ideas. Emily Mayfield, our special contributor, joins us with some of her top finds. As usual, you have found some very cool things for Jay and I to investigate and share with everybody else.
Yes, I tried my best. I'm queen of last-minute shopping, so I'm someone who needs to go to the storefront and get it so I can give the gifts on time. Starting with number 1, we have Blair Richie. She's brilliant. She's a handbag designer. Every handbag is designed in Lakewood and it's made in the USA. So I have one right here. This is the Billette Traveler.
Wow, perfect size. I'll get my color at, there you go. Now you can really see it.
And one thing I love about her handbags is she gets really creative with the straps. You can wear it as a belt. I love it for the grocery store. Hands are free. She's been very busy. She is saying that if you need something this last minute, perhaps look at the gift card option and let your loved one pick out their very own handbag.
This is beautiful, and definitely a gift card would be a solid buy on this. That's awesome.
Tell us what you have from Ilthy. They've got some really cool items this year.
Ilthy, which stands for I Love the Hype. I have the Cleveland Against Racism. We all need one of these. And I also have the Midwest Kids, which as a Nebraskan, I appreciate this as well.
I really have some cool face masks. This is Cleveland Against the World.
Yes.
Browns colors are covered. I love these. I think they're great for the Cleveland Browns fan to both be safe and protect those around us and also support our football team. I think it's a great spin.
So lots of fun stuff. They also are doing curbside pickup in North Royalton.
Emily, stocking stuffers are a very big deal. One of the coolest stocking stuffer ideas for anybody is self-care.
And this is what I'm passionate about. We have Revival. These guys are all natural. So they have everything from lip balms to hydrating hair masks to lip tint to body scrubs. They have it all. It's good for guys, for girls, never tested on animals. And honestly, just a really attractive, eco-friendly, brilliant brand right here in Cleveland.
Oh, Jay, I think I found something in here for you. It is a glow clay mask. So
I've been looking for that, Betsy.
I thought maybe you would. You just need a little.
Perfect. Everybody loves candles, and they are perfect gifts. They really are.
Cleveland Candle Company, I can actually attest to this. It's a great date night gift. Baker and I went last year, and you can actually go to this wall where they have all the scents, and you can build your own candles, and it's all soy. So after you kind of pick the scents, I'll admit he's a lot better at this than I am. You actually name it. Right here, this is Cleveland Snow. And then you take it home and you can burn it. And they're clean burning. They are currently open, but if you can't make it in, you can also just buy these straight from the store.
Now, did you say that Baker is better at selecting the scents than you are?
It's obnoxious. He's so good at it.
All right, Emily, another gift for the ladies, and this is something that is clutch this time of the year. You managed to find press-on nails that are cool.
So the brand is called Salon to You, and I know Breon Reed, she's the owner. She actually does at-home manicures and pedicures. So she brings the services to you. It's brilliant. But when the pandemic hit, she decided she had to make it more accessible for people to do on their own, hence the press-on nails. And it comes with a manicure kit, so you can literally give yourself a manicure in your living room. I think it's so brilliant. Oh, those are so cute.
Aren't they cute? I love the texture.
She gave me the bubble bath color because she knows that's my favorite, as I literally have on my nails right now.
As you can see my real nails, I desperately need this, so this is clutch.
Tell us about the William Frederick Clothing Company. This is really cool.
All of their products are designed and made right here in Cleveland. I did not know that Cleveland used to be #2 to New York for the biggest clothing manufacturers. So his goal is to get us back to that #2 spot. So I'm over here with this brilliant jacket. Put it on a model for you guys.
Wow, I have a black one here. It's a very nice coat. Very quality.
Do a 3-step catwalk for us, Jay.
Not enough room because I'm at my desk, obviously. Hold on.
Wow.
Very, very nice.
For local orders, he is delivering.
And at this point, if you haven't ordered it, shipping is never going to get there in time. So these are great local options. Emily, thank you very much. Happy holidays to you and Baker, and we will see you soon.
Thanks, guys. Happy holidays.
So, Romney, the cool thing about that is obviously you can still go to those shops or they can actually deliver and have it in time for Christmas. And the other thing is, and we've talked about this over the last 9-10 months, but I don't think it's ever been more important to support local businesses because as this pandemic draws on, more and more of them are going away. And one research piece after another tells us many of them won't come back. So if you can support a local business, please do.
And what I love is that so many of those items had a local name, like Cleveland Against the World, or Cleveland was on the shirt. So you can support your local city. I mean, I think it's beautiful. Also, you might have a future as a model. That miniature catwalk there, it's pretty strong.
I don't know. It wasn't much. By the way, if you want to find out all of these local companies, you can find a list of them on our website, wkyc.com.
Absolutely. And of course, get those gifts. You got a couple days left. And you know what? Matt's been telling us we're going to have a white Christmas. Like, it's official. It's not
I might need that coat
then. It is
then.
happening. I am bracing myself for this.
Yeah, Romney and Jay, I'll tell you, I don't think anything's official until we actually see the snow falling from the sky. That's why I'm not going 100% quite yet, but yeah, it looks really good. And it's not just for the areas that see it more often, which would be Lake Geauga, Ashtabula counties. It's area-wide. So everyone that's getting this broadcast signal right now, you are more than likely going to have a white Christmas. But it's going to come at a cost. If anyone's doing any traveling Christmas Eve, that's when things are really going to start to go downhill. And even Christmas Day looks pretty rough, especially out in the snow belt, as you'll see here in the forecast. So let's get to the details. The three things that you need to know about our Christmas Eve storm. We do have accumulating snow on the way. We're also going to have strong winds accompanying this. We're going to turn pretty breezy tomorrow, and that will last all the way through Christmas Day, a sign of how strong this area of low pressure will be. And we're also going to turn much colder around here, and that will help kick off some of the lake effect snow. No issues tonight. In fact, look at that. We may clear out for a little bit. The Christmas star still visible, not quite as close as a great conjunction last night, but something you may want to get out and see if you do have some clearing. A lot of us still stuck in the clouds here, but it's all out ahead of the next weather system. This thing breezed in areas of the Pacific Northwest last night with heavy rain. It's producing wind and blizzard conditions up in areas of Minnesota and across the Rockies. This thing is going to head in our direction, as you know, over the next 24 hours, and we'll start to feel the effects tomorrow. So let's get right into it. Your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast. Tonight, we're falling back into the low 30s for most of us. I think we see some peaks of sunshine tomorrow for a time. That wind will really start to pick up. We're going to be dry for the majority of your Wednesday, and it's going to be warm out ahead of this system. We have high temperatures expected to reach near 50 degrees by afternoon, so this is an outside. Maybe put up the holiday decorations that have fallen over the last couple weeks, get those last snow piles out of the way and let them melt, because we're going to have a pretty nice day tomorrow, all things considered. The rain moves in with this system tomorrow evening on into tomorrow night, and here's the beginning of Christmas Eve morning. You can see we've got lots of rain outside, still warm temperatures, but as that cold air we've been highlighting works into this moisture, that rain will change to a wet snow from west to east. The timing on this may still fluctuate, but it looks like any time between late morning and early afternoon, again from west to east. Look at the temperature fall and the decent snow we've got falling by Christmas Eve afternoon. That will continue into Christmas Eve night. So a bigger look at this system as we go beyond that time frame. You can see the wind with all those packed isobars. There's our changeover. And then beyond that, the models have changed in terms of bringing a secondary area of low pressure up the Appalachian Mountains. What that means for us, it continues that snow rather than ending it Christmas Eve night. So it looks like maybe Christmas morning we'll still have some decent snowflakes around, and that transitions to lake effect snow Friday, which is Christmas Day, and Saturday. In terms of accumulations, we're not putting numbers on it, but look at the latest model trend bringing the heart of the snowfall up through northeast Ohio. We could be talking 6 to 12 plus inches, especially out in the snow belt. The other thing we've got are falling temperatures. We're going to start Christmas Eve day in the 30s and 40s, and then we're going to end up feeling like the below zero category by the time we head into Christmas. And in terms of the timeline on that, if you have any travel plans Christmas Eve night on through Christmas Day, that's when it gets kind of trickery around here. There you go. White Christmas chances. I think pretty much all of us are close to a guarantee. Ken Ganley, Kia 7-day forecast. There's our big temp drop Christmas Eve day. And then beyond that, it does look like we warm up with another rain snow system next Monday, but we'll focus on that when the time comes. It certainly is going to look very Christmassy and wintry around here by the time we wake up Christmas morning.
Sounds good, Matt. Thank you. Coming up, a gift fit for a queen. You might be surprised at what Sean Diddy Combs gave his mom for her 80th birthday. That's coming up in your pop break.
And we all need a break right now, including Santa Claus. We're going to show you where the big guy was spotted recently. Everyone needs a little relaxation. A scary accident involving designer Rachel Zoe's son, and one heck of a birthday gift for Diddy's mom. Kiara Cotton has that and more in your Tuesday Pop Break.
Rachel Zoe is sharing her gratitude for life after revealing that her 9-year-old son suffered a 40-foot fall while on a ski trip in Colorado. The 49-year-old designer took to her Instagram story yesterday saying, "The outcome is Sky is doing great and the bravest boy I've ever known, but that she and her husband are shattered and numb." Zoe also shared a video of Skylar in pajamas showing that he's doing well after the accident.
She's still a little sore and I'm kind of hurting, but I'm fine.
According to Zoe, she and her husband have been focusing on the simple things since Skylar's release from the hospital. Night 1 of the Bachelorette season finale is in the books, and if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, 30-year-old Tasia's quest to find love is slowly coming to an end, but it wouldn't be the Bachelorette without a little drama. During last night's episode, Brendan realized he wasn't ready for commitment and left the show. And in a plot twist that no one saw coming, producers brought back Ben, who was eliminated last week. It all comes down to Ivan, Zach, and Ben. But who will she choose? We'll just have to wait and see. And finally, here's why it literally pays to be Sean Diddy Combs' mother. Yesterday, the 51-year-old rapper and media mogul celebrated his mother's 80th birthday. And if her lavish party with family and friends wasn't enough, Diddy gifted his mom a check for $1 million and a brand new Bentley. Diddy's mother, Janice, also shares her birthday with her twin granddaughters, Delilah and Jessie. While we all might not be able to have $1 million or a new Bentley for that matter, after the year we've had in 2020, there is still so much to be grateful for. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Kiara, you just have to look, but things to be grateful for are certainly out there. All right, let's do our Worth the Watch. This is kind of fun. I think it's safe to say we could all use a getaway after the year we've had, and Santa is no exception. The big guy is super busy this time of year, but got a break recently to relax. He and one of his elves were spotted in the waters off the Florida Keys this week. Doing what else? Scuba diving. They use underwater sleds to cruise around the reef. But kids, don't worry. He immediately headed back to the North Pole, and I'm told is busy right now getting everything ready for Christmas Eve. Pretty fun.
I get it. We could all use a little Florida vacation. They're probably in the mid-70s right now.
Oh, don't tell me about that. Just seeing the pictures makes me so jealous. I need a getaway.
I know. So true. Next year, Jay, we're all going to take a vacation. Okay. New at 5:30, direct deposits will show you just how much money you can expect from the latest round of COVID stimulus.
Plus, we've all heard of those dog and pet owner reunion stories. There's a million of them out there, but this one is absolutely remarkable. We're going to tell you where a dog that had been missing for 8 years was found and how he was reunited with his owners. It's a local story. Plus, he elfed himself. How an elementary school principal spread some holiday cheer and fun to his students. I want to learn from this guy.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
It certainly is. Welcome back to What's New. Thanks for joining us. 2 days to Christmas, and for those of you that were worried it was going to be a green Christmas and not a white Christmas, you heard Matt earlier in the show, and if you didn't and you're just getting home from work, I heard Matt say we could be in anywhere from 6 inches to 12 inches, Romney, which certainly would be a white Christmas for all of us. Wow.
You know, Jay, I'm not from here, so for me, this sounds like a Hallmark movie Christmas. A white Christmas sounds quite magical to me, so I'm kind of excited. All right, well, here are 3 things to know tonight. Of course, 2020 has been the deadliest year in U.S. history, mainly due to the pandemic. More than 3 million Americans have died this year. That's about 400,000 more compared to 2019. It's the biggest single-year increase since 1918.
Wow. But a bright spot, COVID-19 vaccines are still being distributed tonight. Just under 6 million doses of the Moderna vaccine will be delivered to 3,500 locations around the U.S. this week. Now, that is in addition to the 2 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine already handed out this week. Listen to these numbers. By the end of January, federal officials say they expect around 50 million Americans will have received the first dose of one of these 2 vaccines. That is absolutely remarkable. Also, Dr. Anthony Fauci rolled up his sleeve today to get vaccinated. This one was the Moderna version. Dr. Fauci turns 80 on Christmas Eve, so he's both a frontline medical worker and in that older, higher risk age group. He'll get the second dose of the vaccine 28 days from now. Now our top talker at 5:30, the massive pandemic relief package that Congress gave approval to last night. It is now on its way to President Trump for a signature. Incredible amount of money.
That's right. It's $900 billion, and that includes money for unemployment benefits, small businesses, and those direct checks that we're all anticipating. But here's exactly how that will break down. Okay, so most Americans who make less than $75,000 a year will get a check for $600. Married couples earning up to $150,000 a year will get $1,200. Now, with $600 more for each dependent kid under the age of 18 living in the same household. So, when will that money be sent? Government officials say very soon.
We will be sending out next week direct deposit. I expect we'll get the money out by the beginning of next week.
There are some exceptions to keep in mind for that money being handed out, but we also have a way that you can check to see how much money you can expect. So simply head to our website, WKYC.com, and click on the story titled The Second Stimulus Check, when to expect it and how much you'll get. And then scroll down until you see a box kind of in the middle of the page. Enter your information, click the little arrow, and boop, it'll tell you how much you can expect from this latest round of stimulus. I think if you all rush there at once, we're hoping it won't crash our site. But a lot of people, Jay, are really interested to know how much money they can anticipate from relief because of effects from this pandemic, of course. It's been pretty harsh on a lot of people.
Absolutely. And many, in fact, are depending on this money just to make ends meet, just in time.
Yep.
All right, here's a remarkable story now about a dog, its owner, and an incredible reunion just in time for the holidays. Amani Abraham has the heartwarming details.
He was just a puppy when he was welcomed into Julia Nemeth's home.
If I walk away, he walks with me.
Junior quickly became part of the family, but about 8 years ago, he went missing.
Came home and he was just gone. He's not a dog to run. He wasn't outside.
For years, Nemeth searched online trying to find him. At one point, she says she came across a Craigslist ad but couldn't make contact. What Nemeth didn't know was Junior had been in and out of the shelter, adopted 3 times, but he couldn't find his forever home. He was named Buddy by the Humane Society of Summit County. His photos posted online.
I seen this picture of what they called Buddy, and I was looking at it and I'm like, that's my dog.
That was the beginning of their reunion. Nemeth said she remembered what she called a heart-shaped mark on Junior, and he responded to the hand signal commands she had once taught him.
What's this? and it just led to more bawling, and I had to apologize because I was ugly crying at that point.
Junior is now a senior, 9 years old, and Nemeth is now a mother of 4. But even with the passing time, their bond stood still.
It feels it feels pretty amazing. Good boy.
The Humane Society of Summit County is hoping to reunite more pets with their families. They're launching a new partnership with findingrover.com. That's where people can upload photos of their pets in hopes of it being matched with another animal at partnering shelters. You can find more information at WKYC.com. Amani Abraham, 3 News.
Wow, Amani, thank you so much. Romney, I don't even know what the odds are of that. The dog had been adopted 3 different times. You'd think that likely one of them would have kept the pet forever, yet I guess it was meant to be. Just an incredible story.
Also, the amount of time, a lot of people maybe after a year or 2 would say, okay, I guess the pet's gone, but she kept looking. That is love right there. And I have a dog, and I probably would too. They're amazing little creatures.
It really is. What a great story. Manny, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Well, things are getting very interesting in the AFC North after the Steelers lost their 3rd straight game last night. Everyone, and I mean everyone in Cleveland, is buzzing about it. And you'll hear all about it in Clicking in Cleveland next.
You've heard of Elf on the Shelf. How about Principal on a Shelf? How an elementary school leader brought some holiday joy to his students. It's our Show Us Something Good today. And Matt, what's going on outside?
Well, tell you what, Romney, the sunsets are getting a little bit later and the days are getting longer now. I tend to forget that. We're coming out of this darkness, Northeast Ohio, but we have some snow on the way. In fact, last Christmas, if you remember, it was 58 degrees. We're going to be some 40 degrees colder this year, and we've got some accumulating snow on the way as well. We'll take you through it when What's Next returns.
Hello. Yep. Jay, it really feels like we've been living in the twilight zone when it comes to football this year, especially after the Steelers just lost to the Bengals. Okay, good.
All right, welcome back. It is time to talk about the weather again. And Matt, you said it's not 100%, but what are we giving it? 85, 90% chance of snow on Christmas?
Yeah, well, Romney, I would put it at 99%. Again, a meteorologist never says 100 unless it's happening. So you just have to have that buffer in case Mother Nature has something else up her sleeve. But yeah, Romney, it's looking really good. And it's been a couple of years since we've had a decent snow on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. In fact, last year, as I mentioned, it was 58 degrees. I remember having the sunroof open and the presents were flapping around in the back seat. So it's much different this year for sure. And if you guys don't have to travel, we're going to be great, all right? If anyone has to travel, that's when we're going to have some problems for sure Christmas Eve. So let's dive into the details, shall we? Partial clearing tonight. How about that? If this would have happened during the day, it would have been miraculous with the sunbeams coming out. It's been a while, Northeast Ohio, but tonight, again, temperatures, really no weather concerns whatsoever. Temps should fall to near freezing. Look at all the watches and warnings out in advance of this system. It is a wind producer. It's also producing blizzard-like conditions, areas of Minnesota, the Dakotas. We're going to get all that, not in terms of the blizzard, but we're going to get the wind. We're going to get some cold and some snow off of this as it's just now heading across the Rockies. But your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast, I want to show you kind of the big terms or the big picture view of this here as it comes across the Plain States. There's not a lot of Gulf moisture, but once it gets connected with that Gulf of Mexico, watch what happens. The rain blossoms on radar. Most of your Wednesday will be dry. We're going to hit near 50 tomorrow, and we're even going to see some peaks of sunshine before the clouds filter in. But that rain moves in tomorrow night, and as this low really ramps up, don't forget we've got very cold air on the backside, and that will eventually eat into the rainfall and change that rain over to a heavy wet snow from west to east. When does that happen? Christmas Eve day, and it'll happen first out towards Sandusky, I think late morning through about midday, and then by afternoon and evening, we're in a wet snow from Cleveland, especially out towards the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. And things could get pretty slick, especially after that sun goes down. The change in the models, if you've been following this with us over the last couple days, the models now develop a second area of low pressure. What that does is continues that enhanced snowfall rate as we get towards the Thursday night, which is Christmas Eve on through your Christmas morning. So that will up some of these totals if that comes to fruition, and then eventually that'll head off towards the north, and we're talking primarily lake effect snow, which could be heavy. Right now it looks to target mainly Lake Geauga, Ashtabula counties up towards Erie, but that would occur Christmas Day through Saturday itself before everything clears out. I'm not putting numbers on this, but you can see the latest trend. We've got a big change in the forecast in terms of some heavier snowfall totals. I do think areas of the snow belt, we can say 6 to 12 plus inches. Everywhere else, it depends on that system and how it interacts with that low, but I think most of us are going to be receiving some pretty decent snowfall. It'll be turning sharply colder Christmas Eve day as well. Here's your feel-like temperatures as you wake up. Look what happens throughout the day. It feels more like the 20s and then eventually down near 0 for Christmas Eve itself, so you're going to need to bundle up, and we're going to stay in the very cold category as we go on through Christmas itself. So that timeline, there you go. It's really Christmas Eve afternoon and evening that it starts to get tricky. Here's where we would have some travel problems Christmas Eve night on into Friday morning. So keep that in mind. If you do have travel plans, best to probably just hunker down and enjoy it with loads of coffee. Ken Ganley, Kia 7-day forecast. Warm tomorrow. Boy, it's going to be balmy. Temps drop on Thursday, and then a look ahead to the weekend will eventually clear things out. But Jay, we've got a very active couple days to get through here, and all, of course, leading up to that main holiday. So I'm a little worried about some of these packages I ordered that were scheduled to arrive today or tomorrow. We may have a late Christmas party here.
Well, better late than never. Matt, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
That's true.
Well, Cleveland hasn't been this excited about the Browns this late in a season in a very long time. Stephanie Haney joins us now. And Stephanie, no question, that's what's been clicking in Cleveland, the Browns, and with very good reason.
That is so true, Jay. I have said it several times. I feel like we're living in the football twilight zone this year for very good reasons, especially after that Steelers upset loss to the Bengals. We know the fans are talking about it. People are very excited about the possibility of playing the Steelers for the AFC North title, even if they can't quite believe it actually could happen after all of these years. Definitely some people just not sure yet, but it definitely could happen if the Steelers lose to the Colts this week. But people are torn about that because, as we said earlier, if the Steelers beat the Colts, that clinches a playoff spot for the Browns, making this matchup so very 2020. Now, if the Browns versus the Steelers game ends up being for the AFC North title and maybe also for a playoff spot, people want to see it go down on Sunday Night Football. But we just don't know if the NFL will make that move. Definitely very interesting times. Now, near downtown tomorrow, the Word Church is holding a giveaway for toys and groceries. That starts at noon, and that'll be at 5900 Kinsman Avenue. That's near the intersection of East 55th Street and Woodland Avenue. The church says get there early if you'd like to be a part of the giveaway because donations will be handed out on a first-come, first-served basis. And all of you at home, keep sending us your holiday lights and your festive moments. Let's take a look at what's happening in Wadsworth. Heidi McCune shared this with us. It's her tree topper that's made out of a Christmas village throughout her entire tree. She says these houses each represent different years of their marriage and family, and that is absolutely beautiful. And in Brunswick, Lisa Kinsilla's daughters are busy here trying to figure out that whole Santa getting down the chimney thing. It's magic, girls. You just can't explain it. Now, speaking of magic, Jay, let's take it back to the Browns for just 1 second. The fans certainly want it. Could the NFL flex that Steelers-Browns game to Sunday Night Football in Week 17?
Yeah, that's a great question. Could they? The option is still there. Last year, there was a Sunday night game on Week 17. There was also a Sunday night game on Week 17 in 2018, but in 2017, there was not. So here's the best answer we have for everybody that's waiting on pins and needles for that. We'll tell you for sure on Monday. But we're saying there is a chance.
There we go. That sounds good.
All right, next on What's New.
I like that.
A nice big pot of bolognese is just what you need on a cold winter's night. Loretta Paganini is going to show me how to make it. How about that? I can't even cook. And show us something good. All it takes for a little holiday cheer is a costume, an elementary school principal, and a whole lot of fun. Stay tuned. And your pop quiz question today, where did eggnog come from? Was it Spain, Italy, or England? Think about it for 2 minutes, and we'll tell you the answer when we come back. All right, before the break, we asked you, where did eggnog come from? Spain, Italy, or England? I did not know this. Historians tell us that it actually came from England originally called posset, and it became very popular around the 13th century. And I am a fan. Well, something else I'm a fan of. In fact, it's one of my favorite dishes in the world. Any kind of pasta with a good bolognese sauce. Trouble is, I don't cook. However, my favorite chef, Loretta Paganini, does, and she loves to help people learn.
I feel like I've brought a small knife to a sword fight. I need a bigger knife, don't I?
Yes, you need a chef knife.
I do have a chopper. Does that make a difference?
I will not be using a chopper. You know why? The vegetables are not the same size. When you make a bolognese, it's the smallest cut. Extra virgin olive oil. That's the first secret of making a good sauce. We are going to add our onion that you chop.
Onion into the water?
No, in the water you add your pasta.
Oh, I see. That would be bad. Does the oil need to be hot before I do that? Because I forgot to turn on my oven. My stove.
Okay.
Yeah. See, Loretta, I don't even know the difference between the oven and the stove. I told you I'm a beginner.
I'll make a chef out of you yet. Next secret, you're gonna take a pinch of your salt and you're gonna sprinkle it on top of your onion. That's gonna help your onion sweat and release a lot of the juices and cook faster, because we are looking to caramelize the onion.
Can I call an audible here, Loretta?
What would you like to do?
My wife is saying my celery is nowhere near small enough, and I know that it violates everything that you stand for, but she's given me this chopper because she said that my celery is terrible.
Okay, remember that your wife is always right. So whatever she tells you, do. We are gonna add the celery that you chopped.
Oh, add the celery now? I have to say, Loretta, it's smelling very good.
The carrot is a natural sweetener that removes the acidity of your tomato. So next we are going to add our carrot. We are going to add our pancetta. That is the Italian bacon. Very different for American bacon, because American bacon is smoked. And we don't want to add anything smoked to our sauce. And then we are going to add, I like to use ground veal because it's a lot leaner than beef. While my meat is cooking, I want to show you the type of tomato. I use fresh tomato in my bolognese, and I like to use the Roma tomato. Roma tomato have less water than any other tomato, so they are perfect for making the bolognese sauce.
Now I have canned or diced tomatoes. Is that okay?
I'm gonna let it slide this time. At this point, I'm gonna take my red wine and I'm gonna put it right in there.
How much red wine did you put in there?
How much of a good time do you want to have?
But you said if you want to have a really good time, then you put a little bit more in.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like to have a good time.
It's starting to sound like a show. So now my fresh tomato, my Roma tomato, and then I like to use what is called passata di pomodoro. Have you ever seen that in the store? The only ingredient here is tomato sauce. So you want to let your sauce simmer very slowly for about 45 minutes. My family always use a secret ingredient in their bolognese sauce, and that is a little bit of grated nutmeg. Your sauce is going to look just like this.
Oh my goodness, it's magnificent.
It really was. I can't believe that I actually made that. Well, I had a lot of help. Making mischief. How a principal spreads some smiles to his students ahead of winter break. It's our Show Us Something Good, and it's coming up. Then at 6 o'clock, Home for the Holidays, two men and their journey from being homeless to having a place of their own. That's coming up at 6 on What Matters Most. Stay with us.
Hey, I got you. Testing 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Weather. Testing 1, 2, 3. We're talking about snow on the way. Could have some big numbers.
Hey, Al, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello. Testing 1, 2.
Knew that he thought, hey, mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check.
I'm here, Al.
And we wrap up What's New at 5 with our Show Us Something Good. It's been a year filled with challenges, so a North Carolina elementary school teacher took spreading holiday cheer to the next level. Terry Vaughn elfed himself, dressed up in a full costume, and made some mischief. He hula hooped down the roof. He even crammed himself into a display case. He's well known for stunts like this. Romney, last year, he dressed up as the conductor from the Polar Express and rode a train through the halls, making things magical and fun for his students. And that is fun. I'd like to go to a school like that.
How incredibly festive, Jay. I love it. All that creativity is amazing.
I do too. What a great story. And that's going to do it for us at 5. Thanks so much for watching What's New. We're back tomorrow at